Fitness is more than just a workout.
If those of you who are just joining us for the first time, the name of the show is Fitness and More, and as you probably have already guessed, fitness is more than just a lifestyle. It's more than just a workout. It's a combination of body, mind, and spirit, and that makes the entire person, the whole person. So, but first of all, I want to introduce BillyBow. Welcome aboard.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
You're an LA boy, I understand.
Yes, born and raised in LA all my life. East LA and Santa Fe Springs.
All right. And you now I got to ask you a question now. So now, as a kid, were you pretty active? Were you into sports or into?
Well, you know what? I was into a little bit, but mostly my brother and the neighbors were. They always got their football outfits for Christmas, and they were out there doing football, but I would be just riding my bike or my skateboard or things like that. So, I was an average kid that, was on the street doing, some activity, So, and, when I grew older, when I was 16, I bought my first weight set, worked out in my backyard, and I started seeing my physique, get big and lean. And then I went into the Navy, and my waist was 29-inch waist when I went in at 19 years old into the Navy. Oh man, it was great. I wish I could get back to that 29-inch waist. But you know what? As you grow older and your diet changes, your body changes, you have to ramp up the exercise, ramp up the nutrition. You know what I mean? And so here we are. What I mean?
That's a good point.
And like you said, we're three-dimensional, you know what I mean? And that's why FitnessX, we say health, fitness, and wellness, and that is spiritual wellness.
Yeah, that's something I think people tend to miss because they tend to see just the actual working out or on the media. You always see the gyms and the programs that are for sale and so on and so forth like that. And that's all a good part of it because you do want to stay active. But there's more to it. Some of the old timers that are around, the old Jack LaLanne period, people represented something more. It was like the nobility of man. So it's not just the well-being of the physique, but the mental outlook and the mind, and then that's whatever the spirituality is of the individual. Let that develop and grow too. Then you become the whole person. And that's kind of, I think, sometimes I look around, I find that missing. So it's good to talk to people that are on that same line. So now, how did the magazine come about?
Well,
how did this happen?
It's a great story, Dennis. Okay. Here I am growing up, working out, went into the military. We worked out every day. I was a mess management specialist and worked myself up from just cooking to being in the office, running the stores during the Persian Gulf War, the first episode of Persian Gulf War. Really? And then I went and taught people how to cook. Okay, went to school to become a chef. So I know the nutrition aspect. And so after that, going through, raising my kids and my marriage, and I got in my 40s and I got heavy because I got out of the military and I didn't want to work out anymore. I just said, I just gave up on it. So I got heavy, and in my 40s, I started working out again. Okay, and you know what? When you start working out and, going to church at the same time, you start, your mind and your heart and your body start changing, and you start getting those ideas of old, those dreams that you had in life, you know what I mean? And I said I wanted to be an actor when I was young, but I took the high road and got married and had children. So I revived that dream, looking out from my desk from Jeffries and Company, an investment banking corporation. I saw the Hollywood sign every day, and I said, what's the easiest way to get to Hollywood and into the fitness industry? I said, well, it was fitness and nutrition and health and wellness, you know what I mean? So I went to my first Mr. Olympia competition, and I took a picture, and that picture was published in Muscular and Development, and their mailbag, and it was published in April of 2006. And then next year, I took a picture next to Jay Cutler, and it was published. And the title was, and I didn't even title it, it was the editors. They said, The Love of Bodybuilding. Because I loved bodybuilding. Mm-hmm. I loved working out, you know what I mean? But you were right. It's more than just a workout. It's more than just a meal. It's a lifestyle. And that's where FitnessX was birthed out of, you know what I mean? It came out of that idea of bodybuilding. But, there's more than just bodybuilding. Mm-hmm. It's health. It's fitness. It's wellness. And that's where Catherine Painter, our Cat Painter, came in, and she developed that whole idea of the mission statement, that whole idea of what FitnessX should be and what it should look like for women. You know what I mean? Because I started out, I wanted to be with the men, you know what I mean? And it wasn't about, it's about everything, you know what I mean? And you know what, raising 4 daughters and spending a lot of time with ladies all my life, you know what I mean? Whether they're friends or romantic, I learned those things, you know what I mean? That, I believe very much so that women run the world and allow us to run it with them. You know what I mean?
That's a very good philosophy.
I truly believe that, Dennis. You know what I mean?
Cat
and
is smiling over here.
And so with that, and it's totally true. So I shifted gears from a man's attitude, from extreme bodybuilding to bodybuilding meets mainstream, and then we developed health, fitness, and wellness. And here we are today, FitnessX magazine. We are health, fitness, and wellness, and that's where I came from. You know what I mean? I had an idea, bought a website, and it grew. And here we are today with Cat Painter and Joe McCulley. You know what I mean? And all our writers.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? And so forth.
Wow. Yeah. It's like a dream come true, so to speak, and you kind of put yourself to it. Again, it's like everything else in the world. If you put your mind to something and apply yourself, it eventually comes to pass. Hopefully that it'll come to pass correctly. Mm-hmm. Kat.
Yes.
There you are.
Hi, Dennis.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay. You've got a very interesting profile here, bio on yourself here. Can you tell me something about yourself, a little bit about, you grew up in Alabama, I understand.
Most of my life was in Alabama. I moved around when as a child. My dad was a doctor, so he worked for the government, and we lived in Chicago, Milwaukee, and North Dakota, and then we moved down south to Alabama.
Okay.
So that's where my childhood really was.
And in your childhood, can you, real briefly, were you active? I mean, did you stay active as a kid and stuff?
My parents always wanted me to be active. That's what my dad believed in. We always ate healthy, not totally healthy, clean healthy, but I always grew up taking dance, ballet, tap jazz, gymnastics. I did cheerleading. I always played sports, but not in an actual team. That wasn't the thing to do in the South back then, being a girl. So I really wanted to do soccer. I wanted to do football. My mom was a little overprotective of me, but I was like the typical tomboy.
Okay.
So I had dreams of being on a sports team, basketball, and a lot of other things, softball. I just did it for fun, but I really grew up with dance.
With dance,
and cheerleading.
And cheerleading.
Yes.
When you were a kid, did your family have like a garden or anything like that?
Oh yes, we had mini gardens. So we always had to help them in the backyard.
Okay.
So I remember a lot of times with the shovel, my dad said, "This is your workout." Besides the playground. So he's like, "Okay, get up. We're going to do the garden." We had a vegetable garden, we had a flower garden. We had tons of plants in the home. It took 2 hours. If they went out of town, I would water the plants. It would take literally 2 hours to do it all.
Wow.
Yes.
I can identify with that because my folks had a big garden.
Wow.
And my grandparents originally had a farm. So when they moved up, I'm from the Midwest, from Cleveland. So when they moved up, I mean, I just grew up with that. You go out and pick the fresh tomatoes off the vine for dinner, and the other fruits and vegetables. And that's really missing today. A lot of kids don't even know where food comes from or what is food. I think Jamie Oliver on one of his TV shows held up a potato and asked some kids at one of the school systems in the country, what is this? And they couldn't identify the potato. And then he held up French fries. They go, "Oh, French fries." And he's like, "Well, where do you get these things?" He goes, "Well, the grocery store." And they don't understand. It's like, no, this is something that grows in the ground, and this is what it is. Mm-hmm. So, okay, so then there you are you're growing up now, okay? And then how did you kind of get into this more fitness-oriented thing?
With the fitness, with the working out with weights. Mm-hmm. And with the cardio. I already knew about the cardio aspect, obviously with the cheerleading and the dance. Mm-hmm. I did also run, but I wasn't really a runner. It's just I did it because I thought that's the only way to stay skinny. There's a lot of misconceptions with how to be fit.
Okay.
And growing up in the South, there was a lot of them. And so in order to stay skinny, I thought I had to starve myself, which is something that I couldn't do because I had hypoglycemia. And I found that later in life. In college, I got out of the healthy eating because I left my parents home. And so I was the typical college student.
Okay.
I was in a sorority, so I did a lot of eating pizza at the dorm. You know, going out to eat, burgers, fries. We're in the South, so everything was fried.
Okay.
Sometimes I skipped breakfast, but I love breakfast. Sometimes I skipped it, or lunch, and then I'd have a huge dinner. So it was 2 or 3 meals a day.
Okay.
But they're huge meals, you know, and people in the South, we eat a lot.
Okay.
You know, and everything's centered around food. So anything you have has to have food. Any kind of activity, any event, there was food there. And so it's not always the healthy food. It's usually the bag of chips with your Coke.
Okay.
So that's what I grew up with. And I struggled with that because all of my friends and most of my family, you know, outside of my parents, would eat junk food.
Okay.
And so that was just a quick thing, you know. Okay, just get a bag of chips in the vending machine, you're good. I had to struggle with that, you know, going out to eat and just picking out the appetizers, like, you know, the onion rings and the hush puppies and everything like that while we're talking, you know. Little did I know that I was going to gain the weight because I've always been skinny.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I've always been skinny, and
So you started gaining weight then?
Gaining weight, but, you know, I wasn't overweight.
Okay.
Then when I get to the point when I was 23 or 24, I realized that my health, being in a corporate environment, that it was going downhill quickly. Mm-hmm. So I remember what my dad said, and he said, you know, if you don't take care of your health now, it's going to get worse every year that goes by. And I started to feel that, and I was feeling like, wow, Dad was right. I really need to take care of myself. And so when I went to the doctor, he even reminded me more that, hey, you know, you got hypoglycemia, and this is why you're passing out at work and not able to go through your day. And I had to see a picture of me at the beach and me in a swimsuit, and I saw this fat on the side. Okay. You know, the muffin top. Okay. And the back fat. And I had to ask.
Interesting way of putting it.
Yes, exactly. And so I had to ask a friend. I said, is this how I really look like? They said, you know what, you look fine. You know, I said, I didn't know I had all this. Yeah. So it had to be that picture to trigger that in my mind that I had to do something. It wasn't my dad. It wasn't the doctor. It was the actual picture because I didn't see myself that way.
Wow. And it comes on so slowly that you don't even notice it. Yeah.
I didn't notice it. Well, I did notice it with my clothes, and I just bought bigger clothes.
Okay.
And I liked to wear baggy clothes at the time.
Okay.
And so after I saw that picture, I said, okay, I'm going to join the gym. And it was a Gold's Gym in Huntsville, Alabama, and that's where I started. I just started with a yoga class. And I was so nervous because I had to go through the lobby to see all these big guys, the powerlifters, the bodybuilders, the NPC bodybuilders, and you know, I would hear all that, and I would get intimidated. As soon as I got into the room, it was a tranquil setting, and it was a yoga class, so I was like, I'm fine, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd never done yoga before, so then I was really nervous until the class started.
Okay.
So I learned that my flexibility was gone. I used to be very flexible being a gymnast and cheerleader and dancer, but I let that go during my college years and my corporate life. And so I learned that I had a lot of problems with my body and the back pain that I had and the neck pain. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a tough session, but you know what really got me going was I remember these old ladies in my class, and they were age 65 and over. Mm-hmm. And I remember admiring their bodies and how they moved with it and how flexible they were. And I said, you know what? Those women are my inspiration to keep on going, because they had smiles on their faces. They're very energetic and they loved life. And they said, Kat, are you going to come over to yoga again? And I said, oh, yes, I'll be there, you know, because I had that accountability.
Okay.
And so from that class went step class, and I went to kickboxing. I did every aerobics class you can imagine that was there.
Okay.
And then
Step aerobics. Yeah, the kickboxing was really big. Okay. And less than a year later, I started teaching. Okay.
So that was like how it started.
Okay.
And then a year later, I started seeing the bodybuilders working out, and I was thinking about that. I was already reading Oxygen magazine and also Muscle and Fitness Hers. So I was starting to look at the workouts and everything, and hearing about the great athletes, their stories, and how they work out and how they do their nutrition. And I was so inspired about that. I would have that at work, in my car, in my backpack. Everywhere I went in the gym, I'd be reading it for my inspiration. So that sparked an interest, along with ESPN when they had Fitness America.
Oh, yes.
And they had the girls up there on stage. And it was such a production that I loved it so much. Just, wow, I miss dance. I miss being up on the stage. But, you know, they're doing something even better. They're actually showing true strength, which I admired for years. Right. And they're doing one-arm push-ups, and this is so cool. And when I saw that on TV, I said, I'm going to do a show. So that's how I got started.
Wow.
And I knew I needed to lift weights. So what I did was I hired a good friend of mine who was a trainer.
Okay.
And I said, okay, I will hire you for 2 months, because that's all I could afford at the time. Mm-hmm. And I said, I want you to teach me everything you know, because I know you're the best. And he did. And I will also, you know, do my best with my nutrition. I'll listen to everything, because that's one area where I resisted for so long, because I still liked my pizza. I still liked, you know, drinking once in a while. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't the best thing for me. Mm-hmm. So I had to take it to the next level and surround myself with people who were same people that I admired. You know, I wanted to be around that instead of the negative people in my life. So I shut the door on that, and it just progressed. And I ended up doing a show in 2 years.
Wow, that's great.
So I did Fitness America, and I enjoyed that. I placed first runner-up.
All right.
So it was cool. It was really cool, and I loved it. The hardest part was the diet.
The diet. Do you find a lot of women kind of stand back from weightlifting because they're afraid they're going to get real muscular?
Yes. And
is that an issue?
That's one thing, too. Was that I was also one of those women that thought that if I lifted a weight, even if it was just a 5-pound weight or a 2-pound weight, that I would instantly get muscle. I know that's funny now, but you know.
But I think a lot of women still think that.
No, and I still have
they don't
friends.
want to touch anything. They just want to do cardio, or they just want to do aerobics.
Yes.
And,
yes.
It's more the combination, wouldn't you say? You building some muscle, doing some cardio, and watching your diet. All three of those
definitely.
In combination.
I learned that because I was one of those cardio fanatics. So I would do all the cardio show, you know, I would do all the cardio, and I would also, I would eat pretty clean, but not totally. Okay. So I lost muscle mass when my trainer, you know, he did my body fat, and I learned that it went down from the day that I started. So I was thinking, what's going on? He goes, well, you're the skinny fat because you're always doing your cardio.
Okay.
And I said, oh, that's what the skinny fat is. I'm the skinny fat chick, you know? So it was really cool. I learned the right way, and I started lifting weights with him. And within a month, I noticed the strength. I had a lot more strength and had no back problems within a month. You know, at that time, I was also doing Pilates.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So I incorporate everything.
Okay.
Yes, the whole spectrum.
That's how, I see the same thing. I mean, it's a lot of times too about working the whole body all the way around. So it's like, you know, one is good, another one is better. Some people think, or it's actually a combination, because we're that kind of creature. You know, we do all sorts of things. I mean, the human body is amazing. So so you're really good inspiration though for a lot of the ladies out there.
Thank you.
You've got a story to tell that's really great.
I'm still inspired by women who are older, you know, that are mothers, who are grandmothers, and they inspire me every day.
So how did you and Billy team up? How did this happen? Did you meet on a bus or something?
Well,
on the way to the gym?
It all happened.
Exactly.
I'm serious. It all happened on the Sunset Strip.
Okay.
All right.
That's a great story. I love this. All right, go ahead.
I have too many stories. Okay. Well, here I am. I'm with a prospective model. Okay, driving down the Sunset Strip, and she was a very divish woman. Okay, so we didn't go with her. So I called my assistant, and she said, you shouldn't be with that particular girl. And then she said, you should be with Kat Painter. Kat Painter has all this nice resume, all this good stuff like she was just talking about. And so I said, well, give me an audience. We'll talk to each other. And, you know, she wants to write for the magazine. I said, yeah, let's have her write for the magazine. And so that was about, I guess, close to, that was like I think in September, you know, 2009? Yeah.
Before me, yeah.
Yeah, so 2009, and then so we started talking on the phone. My assistant got us together, wanted her to write for the magazine, wanted her to model for the magazine. I gave her a cover after, you know, talking with her and stuff like that. And so she came, I went to Alabama and basically picked her up, and she came back with me to California, and we teamed up. And we started developing FitnessX in our apartment and the magazine. And so we published our first issue with Dr. Sarah Solomon from Toronto, Canada. Okay, she was on my online magazine in March of 2010. Okay, and then we published the actual magazine, the physical paper, whether it was on internet or in the paper format with Dr. Sarah Solomon from Toronto, Canada. She graced the cover, and then she worked with me on that. We worked on that whole issue. And she was on the cover of February, Catherine. You know, Kat Painter was on the cover. And so that's how we met. We met, you know, through my assistant writing for the company, and then we fell in love with each other. And this whole process.
Didn't know it was going to happen.
Cupid was in that.
Yeah, we fell in love, and so we joined forces. Go Fusion Fitness. Go Fusion Fitness. That's what she was about.
My company
that was her company.
Yeah.
Go Fusion Fitness married into FitnessX.com magazine. Okay. And so she has her website that goes gofusionfitness.net. I have BillyBow.com, but it all centers around FitnessX.com. That's what it is.
So anybody can go there, right?
Anybody can go there. At the top, you can get the magazine, and also you can click print issue. As well, so you can buy the print issue. You can see the magazine just like a magazine, flip it like a magazine, digital, online. Okay. Also, you can get it on iPad for free at magcloud.com. Just get the file from the the iTunes store.
Yeah.
Okay, and
it's called MagCloud.
Magcloud.com.
Okay.
Okay, just the way it sounds, magcloud.com. But at the same time, you can read it for free, all there.
So
but at the same time, you could just go to FitnessX. You can see the videos on the side. You can click the icon that says the YouTube. Okay. So we want to push everybody to FitnessX, everybody to the website, and they can get everything. And a lot of people don't really look at everything on the website. You have to look at the top, the middle, the bottom.
Right.
And everything is there for you, and it's easy to see and easy to interact with.
So you cover all different topics, right?
Cover all
exercise,
topics
nutrition.
Yes, and you know what? It was an Oxygen magazine. Robert Kennedy was talking about the same issues that we were going through. I was thinking about what Robert was saying.
Now you're speaking of Robert Kennedy from Canada.
Robert Kennedy from
Muscle Mag.
Yeah, Muscle Mag, and his women's magazine, Oxygen magazine. Okay, and so he was talking about the same issues. Women want nutritional tips. They want workouts. And they don't want to see celebrities on the cover of a magazine. Okay, they want to see women who are fresh, new, real. Somebody they can connect with. And that's what FitnessX is all about. It's about connecting. Okay, it's about relationship. It's about working out, nutrition, health, spiritual fitness. You know, it's the whole man, the whole woman. You know what I mean? We have 70% of women looking at the magazine and reading it, and we have 99% women showing up and giving us their articles to publish.
Oh, that's great.
And we have 30% men looking and reading, and they're following the women's workouts and nutrition tips. Listen, guys, it's not all about bodybuilding. It's all about working out, nutrition, and wellness. That's what it's about.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's the whole man, the whole woman.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
When I work with my clients, I call it more body sculpting.
Yeah.
Because bodybuilding has got that term like NPC bodybuilding or IFBB and Mr. Olympia, and that's like massive bodybuilding. But what most people really, I think, really want is more tone and shape. So it's a sculpting kind of thing.
Yes.
And my background was in fine art, so it's like, you're going to take a work on a piece of canvas, or you're going to work in clay or something like that. You sculpt it out to what you want, and you can use any of the tools, any of the modalities. So you can use yoga or Pilates or weight training, just like you'd use a paintbrush.
Yeah, strength training.
Strength training, yeah, and those become your paintbrushes or your sculpting tools.
In our kitchen.
Okay.
You know, it's just, yeah, it's just like anything. You know, abs are made in the kitchen.
Sure.
Magazines are made in the kitchen.
All right,
businesses. You know, so with that said, here I have this coolest creative mind in my house. You know what I mean? And we're working together. You know, we're developing this magazine. And I tell you, Joe's the heart and soul of this magazine. Okay, he brought people over that are just great people. And we already had great people too, so we merged all those great photographers and writers. And I want to say thank you, writers. You guys are great out there, and our readers.
Yes.
But you know,
Yes, we love you.
merged all that. We love you guys.
Thank you very much, you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
merged that creative mind, okay, together, and we made FitnessX. We started rocking for FitnessX, you know, in May. I mean, we were building it, but when Joe came, it was the last link to the chain.
You had all the parts of the puzzle.
We had the parts of the puzzle, you know what I mean? And there it was. Everybody was coming out of the woodworks. We lost a model. He came back because of Joe. You know what I mean? And then people were continuously coming because of Joe's creative look. Because people were all about visual.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even though that we think magazines may leave off the stand, but I think they're going to still stay, okay? But at the same time, it's digital. You know what I mean? That's why we have the iPad, we have the information highway, you know what I mean? Internet. So, you know what? You can get it at both places.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's still nice to hold that magazine. And you know what? It's neat. It's beautiful. I'm holding it right now. I love the feel of it, but I love what it looks like inside. And FitnessX is wonderful, and it's been made beautified by Joe McCauley.
Wow, that's quite a compliment. Yeah.
So it's beautified. It really is. And you know what? What are women? What are women about? What are women about? It's beauty. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's grace, and you know, that's what FitnessX is about. It's about beautiful women inside and out who are writing this stuff. And you know, they have past too. They were heavy. A lot of these women that are writing for a magazine were heavy at one time. And a lot of people say, oh, no, you've been skinny all your life. No, it's not that. Yeah. They had their time, you know what? And they went up and down. We have a writer named Summer Taylor who just went through a time and she gained weight. And she wrote an article for November talking about that. Here I am writing for a major magazine, okay, and I'm not living the life. She's talking about that. That's real issues that women are dealing with. Real women out there. You know what I mean? And so that's what we're talking about. You know, we're talking about real issues for women. And you know what? The men can wean off this.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because women, they just know what's going on.
Well, yeah, I don't think any one sex has a corner on the market.
But I feel that raising daughters and being around, you know, daughters and women. I agree that women do have some intuitive about life. But you're right. Both sexes bring togetherness for the pot.
I'm always amused when you go into the gym and certain exercises are kind of pointed out as, abductor machines and adductor machines. Oh, those are for the women.
Right.
Like guys don't have adductors and guys don't have abductors. No. And it's like, well, no, not really. It's like, you know, we can do that. And squats or heavy leg press, that's for men only. It's like, who made this up? And it's like, no, I like that because we're all essentially physiologically very similar in terms of like how the body works. And what I'm watching here between the three of you guys sitting here in front of me here, all three of you, is this energy flow.
Yes.
You know,
thank you. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, it's a great kind of a thing to watch and
thank
develop.
you, Wesley.
And
hi, Wesley.
So now you react. So what you guys do is work on a whole combination, right? So
we do
creative and so all the flow of energy flows back and forth.
Yes, we do. We are a great team. We're the Three Musketeers.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. We have about 10 more minutes to go on the show here, and what I want to do is talk a little bit about philosophy and about like where you're headed and how you would like to see all of this developed, and if you could talk to people directly. what would you say? Like, for example, like what would be the focus?
Well, this is what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to have Catherine do it really quickly. We have a mission statement, but at the end of that mission statement, it says, we believe in inspiring you to live well naturally at FitnessX magazine. So go ahead and you can read the mission statement quick.
Okay, here's our mission statement. It's FitnessX magazine strives to inspire people by making a difference in empowering and encouraging you to live a healthier lifestyle. We take pride in sharing heartwarming stories on health, fitness, and wellness. Our readers vary in age, body composition, ethnic background, economic status, and professional background, but have the common goal of improving themselves through health, fitness, and wellness. Our readers are health conscious, discovering or already adopting healthy lifestyle practices, and interested in bettering themselves. At FitnessX, we feature athletes in all sports, professionals who work in the health, fitness, wellness industry, everyday people who have remarkable strides in motivating others to live a healthy lifestyle, and includes articles on the latest and most popular topics of interest. So there it is.
Wow.
You know, our goal is to inspire people, you know what I mean, to live well naturally, you know what I mean, the lifestyle, to live the lifestyle.
I like that term, inspiration.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's a lot of times, too, people want to be motivated. And, well, my feeling, and a couple of previous guests we've had on the show feel that same thing. Motivation might lead you to believe I need something that's outside of you. Inspiration is something where you were inspired to work on your body, or you were inspired to get out there and do something for others. And that's really, you've got to have the spark.
Yes.
What I got to describe it as is a desire. You got to want it, and determination, and the most important part would be dedication. So if you have all three of those elements going, then you really don't need someone out there. You've already been inspired. I like the way you're
yeah, you know,
look at that.
I have hired some good people in you know my business, and someone wrote that from what I believed. Okay. Inspiring is very inspiring you to live well naturally, because I came from the IFBB side. You know what I mean, and we know that not any particular group or federation, there's drugs from the 1920s now. There's doping and athletical things. You know what I mean?
It's everywhere.
So it's everywhere. And we at FitnessX, we don't want that. That's a stigma. Okay, in any sport, in life, period. But you know, in sports, I remember when I was growing up, that athlete at the Olympics was because of his bronze, because of his mind, because of the whole body, because of the whole psyche. He won. When I saw Bruce Jenner win, I go, whoa! I want to be like Bruce Jenner. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I want to be like David Carradine. You know what I mean? He's strong and he fight. You know, those are the people that we grew up with, the heroes that inspired us.
We don't have
with
very
our
many
dreams.
left.
You know what I mean?
Not too many.
There's not very many out there anymore.
There is a few. There is a few. You know what I mean? But you know what? We still look for those heroes.
Sure.
In the Olympics. The Olympics, when we looked at the Olympics when we were growing up, Dennis, those people inspired us. I wanted to be on the box of Wheaties after that. You know what I mean? Wow, you're on the box of Wheaties? You know, that's like being...
See, if you knew Joe back then, he could take the pictures and put it on the box.
You know,
and
Really, I know.
You know, the late, great Jack Lane.
Yeah.
He was a man that we honor and we lift up, you know?
He was a good inspiration.
Yes.
I tell the story all the time. When I was a kid, Mom was always doing the exercises on the floor and doing the stuff. And, of course, I was always watching him when he talked about building muscle, because I was a skinny kid. And here's a man that walked the talk, so to speak. And everything that he said, because you can go on YouTube and you can look up some of his old shows.
Oh, yes, I do.
All the things he said back then, years and years and years ago, are still true.
Yeah.
Because they're. I mean, truth is truth.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you can't get away with it. Yeah, and here's the man living to 96 years old, being healthy, still exercising, full of life, vim and vigor, and that's really inspiration.
He was one of my inspirations, and Mary Lou Retton was another one of mine.
Who?
Yes.
Mary Lou Retton,
Yes,
the
she was
gymnast.
too.
Yes, definitely.
All the gymnastics I used to love when I was, you know, watching the Olympics too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, you have the greats like in the fitness world, like the great icons. Sherry Goggin. You know what I mean? She was one of the. That's a woman I look up to in the fitness world. It was so neat to get Sherry on, and we gave her a cover. You know, and here she is, September cover, Sherry Goggin.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she has, in fact, Catherine is wearing her.
I'm wearing her
Fit Girl
Wear dress.
Okay.
So she has a whole line of beautiful swimsuits and
Yes.
beautiful
And
fitness wear.
These are the people that are a
costumes.
part of FitnessX. They're real. They've been around for a long time. They have followings. You know what I mean? And when we bring up their name in groups, they're always say, "Oh yeah, I know Sherry. I know Laura Mack." You know what I mean? And just the other people we bring in. You know, I know Joe McCauley. You know what I mean? You know, former world physique, but now he's part of FitnessX, and he's the heart and soul. You know, and Kat Painter. You know what I mean? I sit next to some of the greatest people in this room, all of us. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about. It's about inspiring people to live well naturally. You know what I mean?
Well, that sounds so good.
Yes.
See, that's what I mean about like what we try to do here on this show, which is to hear this side, which you don't really hear on
Yes.
mainstream media. Occasionally, you might hear it on some show or something like that. I think Oprah would always have some shows like that periodically on
Yes.
there. But it's like I get very discouraged sometimes being a journalist and just watching television over and over again, and everything is about. Here, buy this and you'll be fine. Buy this and you'll be fine. Or what drug is next on the market? Or you can actually sleep longer. I'm always amused when Nancy Reagan said, "Just say no to drugs," and then television is filled with drug ads. And it's like,
So true.
here, take this one to stay awake, take this one to go to sleep, this one to feel better. And it's like most of these people, some friends of mine, I have a friend over in Laguna that is a registered nurse, and he says if people could only see what happens as you age if you don't take care of yourself in the ICU wards, it's amazing.
Yes.
And all it takes is you're still in charge of your own well-being.
Yes.
Nobody else
true.
is really going to do it for you.
That's
Right.
true.
You've got to do it yourself. And you folks sound to me like what you're doing is giving that inspiration to people to say, "Hey, yeah, I can do it."
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You
good
can.
for you. Good for all of you.
You can
Which
do
is
it.
great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Yes. Whether you're great or small.
That's
You know
it.
what I mean?
That's-
It's all fitness is free. You know, you could do it outside. You don't have to buy a gym membership. I tell you, buy a gym membership. It's a great thing.
Yeah,
But
sure.
you know, go outside and work out. You know, vigorous workout. Just not walking, but vigorous workout.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you can do that in any part of the country.
Yes.
I'm a Midwesterner, so in the wintertime we went out to ice skate.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
we
I
skied.
I do that too in North Dakota.
Right. And then
Yeah.
the summertime you got the pool,
Yes.
the bicycling. You don't necessarily need the gym. Gym's convenient.
Yes, it is
Yes.
convenient.
You know.
I love my gym.
It's hard to it's hard to go jogging in the rain. But it's like whatever it is or whatever you like, I think it's important too. Because
Yeah.
of some people, like if a doctor says you need more exercise, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to run to the gym. I see that a lot of times where like, well, I really don't like it here in the gym. Well, then don't be here. What do you like? He likes playing tennis. Well, then
Yes.
play tennis and go for it and be the best tennis player you can be.
Yes.
And all that stuff. So you guys are doing a wonderful job.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Dennis.
Thank
it.
you, Dennis.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wesley.
Once
Oh.
again, I want to. Yeah, I want
Okay,
to.
so we're on FitnessX. Please
Yeah.
go to fitnessx.com and also our Facebook at facebook.com/FitnessXMag.
FitnessX Mag.
Yes,
Yes.
FitnessX
Facebook.
Mag.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can go there and check it out.
Yes.
It's an incredible magazine. We're so glad to have you all here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so
very
much,
Billy
Dennis.
and Kat is
Dennis
great.
and Wes.
Great. I look forward to a good success for you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And
We
let's
would-
all stay close together, Kat.
Yes.
So I thought we would love to come back.
Okay,
Yes.
I'd love to have you back.
Yes, yes.
That'd be wonderful.
Yes.
All right, folks. Thank you so much.
You're
again.
welcome.
Thank you.
And for those of you outside who have comments or suggestions, you can write to me. Just write to Dennis at fitnessandmoreradio.com. And that's simple there. We're also available on, you can follow us on Twitter and on Facebook at Fitness Radio. So thank you very much for listening today. Spread the word. Tell all your friends. We're here on Global Voice Broadcasting, and we originate live and streaming on Saturday morning Pacific time here in Southern California. And you can find any of our programs by just coming to www.gvb.com and look under the column where it says sports, and you'll find me, and click on there. And from that point on, you can find all of our shows. They're available on iTunes, and you can also download them, anything like that. So also don't forget, if you want to write me a letter, and maybe ask some questions about anything that we have going on, I'm available at Dennis at DennisMasonFitness.com. So if you have any questions on fitness or problem areas or something you'd like me to pass along, that would be the place to go. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy it. We are now officially into October. Are we?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Now, this show may be played back at a later date. So, but at any rate, take care of yourselves and everyone, and spread the word on health and fitness for all. Dennis Mason here. Take care.
Fitness is more than just a workout.
It's a lifestyle committed to health by staying active, eating healthy, reducing stress, and having fun. Each week, you'll be taken on a journey with Dennis Mason and his guests to explore new ideas, ask questions, separate myth from fact, and share information. That's Fitness and More with Dennis Mason, only on Global Voice Broadcast.